Since it is Women's Day tomorrow, Mother's Day tomorrow, but Women's Day tomorrow, we have asked a couple of you to come up and just kind of share your hearts a little bit. And we have 3 different stages of children's lives, basically, that we are kind of celebrating. We've got the young ones, the wee ones, like toddlers and young, almost like preschools and kind of into schools. And then we've got another person that is going to be sharing with children that are kind of more teenage and a little bit out of high school and kind of college age and all. And then we've also got someone that's sharing that has adult children and grandkids. Yes, and grandkids. And so we're going to be having that. So Julia is going to come first. And Julia, go ahead and come on up while I'm introducing you here. Julia and Jesse, yes. Julia and Jesse, we had the privilege of connecting with and meeting back in November. And when we first kind of started this whole journey together. And, they have some small children. Did you duck okay? Yep, you're good. And all. And so, yeah, we've asked her to come and just kind of share her heart. I just told them that they can share whatever the Lord's teaching them and whatever the Lord's doing with them. So you can go ahead and use this one. So.
Okay. I hate public
Introduce
speaking.
yourself to everybody who may not know you.
For the record.
And get right up to that mic.
Oh, good. Okay. I hate public speaking, so I apologize in advance. I am Julia, my husband, Jesse, and then our 3 kids. We have Gabe, who is 19 in the back. Alden is 8, and Mia is 4. And then me. I said Jesse. Well, there's that. And honestly, I don't have like a big thing prepared, but I would share a couple things with you guys. And mainly, I was actually talking with Heather before we went to Hawaii on our family vacation about how the Lord's been kind of speaking to me to just stop and slow down, because I feel like we are so busy and there's always something going, one thing after another. Somebody needs something. Like your body doesn't feel like your own. Your time is not your own. There is no time for you. As a woman, as a mom, and it is exhausting, and it comes out so negatively some ways, and to our kids and how we parent and in our relationships. And I've struggled with that a lot lately, and I feel like I'm doing better just trying to voice what I need and making me take time for myself so that I can be the mom that I want to be for my kids. Dang it. Yeah, in front of everybody. So we'll skip to a couple things that are written. So bear with me for a second. One thing I was saying on that same note, though, was those moments when you're so overwhelmed and you feel like you're going to snap, is to just take a step back and realize that Mia's not going to want me 24/7 when she gets older. She's just not. And so you have to appreciate the fact that she only wants mom, right? Hi. She only wants mom right now, and she only wants me to take her to the bathroom, and she wants to be with me every second. And as hard as that is, there is a time when that's not going to be the case. And Alden, I wish I could have really taken in all of the time that he wanted to spend with me, because now he wants it and I have her, and it's so hard to like try and divide yourself in so many different ways. I think that's one of the most beautiful things about being a mom, though, is because God made us to be able to do all of those things. Yes, and we're really good at multitasking. Sometimes it doesn't feel like we are, but then when you sit back or you ask your husband to do 4 out of the 12 things that you normally do, and they just don't really make it out the same way that they do, or it means a valiant effort most of the time. But don't get me wrong, Jesse is a great help, but it is, you just have a way of doing it, and it makes sense in your brain, and we're not very good about vocalizing it, and you just kind of expect, like, well, why'd you do it that way? That doesn't make sense at all in my brain, but it gets done. And that's one thing that you have to just remind yourself, is that it doesn't matter how it gets done as long as it gets done, and it may not be done your way, but it's them, everybody else trying to help you accomplish the same goal. Okay. Apparently, this is just a little quote that I saw that I have like a Pinterest board with reminders for myself when I need to like just take a step back and read things. And it says, "I had no idea this would be so much. I had no idea I could handle it. I had no idea how beautiful it was actually going to be. Motherhood is a trip." And it's true. When a mother somewhere forgives herself and reminds herself that she is human, the earth exhales a little bit. And I think that that's huge. It's the hippie in me. And then I'm trying not to babble, but when I'm nervous, I babble. So just cut me off, Dave, if that needs to happen. Okay, Deuteronomy 31:8. "The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged." For me, that's huge, because sometimes, even though you have a village, it feels like you don't, and you're all alone. And I was reminded of this at work the other day, because coming back from vacation, yes, you have people who back you up, but you get back and you're like, oh my gosh, I think I had close to 1,000 emails when I came back. They were taken care of for the most part, but I had a little breakdown. And I was like, this is too much. And it happened to be at work, surrounded by all the people who now go back to the office. And I was just like, and all of my other admins, like a village, are like, I got this. And they stepped in and just took stuff. But then it made me feel guilty that I couldn't handle it. And they all could. And my boss took me aside and she said, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to not be able to do it all. She said, stop trying to prove yourself, because we already know that you can do it and that you've already proved yourself. So let us help you, because it takes a village. And that's the case with being a mom, being a woman, being a wife, being a coworker. So happy Mother's Day to you guys. I'm done, and I love you all.
Very good, very good. You did well. So great. Miss Heather's going to come at this point. We've known, Jeannie and I have known Heather and Eric for 16 years, I think, is what we were calculating, or something like that. It's been 18. Has it been 18? It's been a while, and they've been very precious to us, and very much Aaron holding up Moses' hands throughout the years and things, and so they're very precious. So Heather, come and introduce yourself. You can tell a little bit about the kids and all that if you'd like to.
Okay.
Do you need this?
Yep.
She's going to preach, so.
Nope. However, I do have a few words. So my name is Heather. Yep, I'm here. Love this church. Go team. I know quite a few of you. I've known quite a few of you for a long time, and it's been such a blessing to have history with people that you go to church with, like years together in service, because I can look back when my kids were little and say, well, Ellery and Carolyn were there when my kids were knee-high to a grasshopper. And, and first of all, I think I should have been the one doing the little people. What am I up here doing a grown children for? That is not right. I'm not happy about that. That's not true. But really, I was excited when Dave said, come talk, because I'm going to try so hard not to cry, because I felt like God had something on my heart for the moms tonight. I really did. And this is what he has said to me. And so this is not just for you, it's for all of us. You're enough. You're enough. You're enough. Looking back over my years of being a mom of 2 lovely daughters, I've had my share of second-guessing my parenting and have great role models in my life. I became a mom when I was 25, and so I was young and I lacked wisdom. I didn't know what I was doing, but I read a lot of books. I did, and I took parenting classes in high school and early childhood development, and I really felt like I had a bead on this parenting thing. But when you actually have a baby, you realize how much you do not know. And so here I am today with a 19-year-old and a 22-year-old, and I can see with my hindsight is 20/20 glasses on that there was a lot I could have done better. I also have the insights of my children to enlighten me on their perspectives of my parenting skills, which can be very humbling at times. All that being said, I want to tell you that the most precious lesson that the Lord has given to me in regard to my parenting, this lesson that I want to share with you guys, and I really hope you'll hear it with your heart and your mind and your soul and your spirit. Listen, this is from God. You're enough. You were enough for your baby as the Lord was breathing life into your womb. You were enough in your skill set. Your mindset is enough. Your prayers they're enough. Your energy is enough. For Jesus, who sits at the right hand of the Father, has been interceding on your behalf, on my behalf, for all these years. Maybe yours are just 3 and 5 and 7 years. Mine are 19 and 22 years. He has stood at the right hand of the Father, and he has interceded and filled in the gaps where I wasn't there, I wasn't ready, I wasn't wise enough. He knew, and he filled in those gaps. In the middle of the night when you couldn't figure out how to get her to go down, he was there. When you couldn't figure out why she kept getting sick, he was there. In the terrible twos, he was there. When you dropped him off for the first time at daycare, he was there. When you were at the end of your day and you were still in your pajamas and the house was a mess and you had no idea what you were cooking for dinner, he was there. All those years in the trenches, you were enough, Mom. And Jesus was at the right hand, and he was interceding on your behalf and on behalf of your children. He can fill in the gaps. And after all, let's think about this. God chose Mary, a mere child herself. She was a teenager. And she was chosen to be the mother of our heavenly, holy King. She lacked in life experience, parenting experience. Jesus was her firstborn. She didn't have it. She didn't know. She didn't have a parenting manual. Yet Mary was enough in her youth and her lack of mothering because she trusted the Lord. Mary said yes when God chose her. When the angel told Mary that she had been chosen to give birth to the Son of the Most High, she had questions, but it came with a promise. For no word from God will ever fail. And her response was, may it be to me as you have said. Mary was chosen. She was enough because she was willing and she trusted God. And you have been chosen. You have been chosen. And you are enough. Mothering never ends. The seasons change, but it doesn't end. And you are vital in your children's lives. Whether they fully understand that or not, you are. pray. Be present. Listen to them. Love them in word and deed. And pray. Never stop praying for your children, for their future spouses, for their children. Continue to sow the promises of God into their lives. Continue to pray the word of God over your children, even if it takes 30 years to see answered prayers. So I just wanted to bring this up as a visual. This Bible was brand spanking new before my oldest was born. Hardcover, really pretty, no bent pages, no duct tape. My children have written their names on it. They have played with the tabs because they were fun and ripped them off. This is my parenting handbook. And I've had a lot of parenting books. I've read a lot of books. This is it. This is the one I still have. This was in the trenches with me. This is The Power of a Praying Parent by Stormy Omartian. Prayed this cover to cover, not just for my kids, but my nieces and my nephews and my friends' kids and kids at church and all the kids that were in my world got this prayer. Audrey, I prayed for your kids. Stephen, I prayed for them. That book was prayed for so many. And there's one other parenting tool that has stayed with me for years, and it's this old piece of paper. Do you recognize this? This was from a MOPS meeting many, many years ago when my children were little. And Jeannie gave this to us, and it is a bunch of scriptures to pray over our kids. I've used it. And it says, my legacy is to mark my children for eternity. And that is what has stuck with me. These are my tools. This is what I've used. We have a command from God to train a child in the way that he should go. And that command comes with a promise. When he is old, he will not depart from it. That's Proverbs 22:6. You have been chosen by the Lord for motherhood. You are enough, for the Lord is... You are enough because the Lord is with you, and no word from God will ever fail. Happy Mother's Day.
I'm so glad we did this. And there are tissues around when you need them, for sure. So, ask Marlena to also share. And she's going to give us a little bit of a different perspective also with that. So we've known Marlena for quite a few years also. And so, 12 years maybe, something like that. And she's a great woman of God and loves the Lord. And I'm going to let her introduce herself and tell about kind of her journey so far.
I did not become a godly woman until 2002. God was in my bedroom closet, and he was my insurance policy. If something happened, I'd pull it down and pray to God, and I'm done. But after I became a godly woman, a lot of stuff changed. I almost committed suicide in 2002 before I became a godly woman. And it was God that walked me through all this. I had many changes in my life. I had been a single parent for many years and raised 3 children. The toughest was my son. He was easy, but he was the last. He was the baby. So my season is adult children with children. So I'm a grandma. And You know, there is a really good song that I had heard. Gosh, I think it was 1974. Yes, I'm aging myself. And it was a country song, and it was about a woman that was in her kitchen, and she was cooking, and her son came in and said, "Here, Mom," and he handed her a piece of paper, and on the paper was a list of things that he had done. "I made my bed. You owe me $2. I mowed the lawn. That's $1.50. He went down the list of things that he had done. "Oh, I also didn't tell on my sisters. You owe me $5. And so she totaled it, and it was probably about $14. And she said to him, "Okay, I see. Well, I'm going to reply to this." So she took the paper, she turned it over, and she wrote with her pen, "The time I carried you for 9 months, no charge. The time that I held you in my arms when you were sick, no charge. The time that you came home crying because a bully had done something to you, and I went to the school and stood up for you, no charge. The time that you forgot your homework or your lunch and I brought it to you, no charge." So, in all, I guess the time that I just loved you for your life, no charge. And the little boy looked at his mom, and he took the paper from her, and he handed it back to her and said, "This is paid in full, Mom." So, to me, that mattered a lot, because as a mom, we're a full-time 24/7. This is it. And you're never done, no matter how old your children are. Mine are 45, 43, and 39. So no matter what, it's never done. Then you become a grandparent. Yes. And it's still out there. So all I can say is, it's the best thing in the whole world to become a mom and to become a grandparent. God has given such a wonderful gift to us, because I couldn't think of anything any better. It's hard work, but you get those no charges. And that's what our Father says to us. No matter what, no charge. It's paid in full. So I got one last thing to say to you guys. When my son was little, I found this book, and it was called I Love You Always. And it says, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." So in all, it just gets better every day. It just gets better. I can sit at the table now with my grandkids and pray over my meal, and I have a granddaughter that says, "Grandma, do you pray all the time when you eat?" So, no matter what, you're feeding them those seeds, and they see it. And then my son, when I talk to him in the mornings and tell him, "Have a great day, I love you, and be safe," I end up saying, "I'll be praying for you today." So I'm leaving those messages and those seeds, and that's all we can do. That's all we can do, and that's all God wants us to do. So, thank you.
And that book that she mentioned, I don't care how hardened you are, if you read it, you'll be bawling by the end of it, I guarantee you that. Everybody stand for a moment as the worship team gathers up again.